Hey everybody, welcome to season 14 of your favorite asymmetrical horror podcast, Spine Chill. I'm one of your co-hosts here, John Wolf, with my two co-hosts, Gary the Hot Cross.
Hello!
And king of asym horror, Doug Running Man.
Hello!
And we're here to talk about all things DBD, which we've got a lot of DBD to talk about this week. Some VHS and Evil Dead news, and I think some Project Playtime. Am I forgetting anything major there?
No, I think that's a lot. Oh, Ghostbusters.
Yeah. We do have a question. We'll get to Ghostbusters. We have a question for you guys about Ghostbusters, but we'll save that for later. And I don't think Prop Night doesn't ever announce anything, so they might have like 2 new killers and a new survivor for all we know.
Who knows?
Yeah, they just kind of come out with stuff. They're just like, by the way, there's a new survivor.
Yeah, their last patch was on New Year's Eve, so I don't think.
Yeah.
Which is a weird day to do a update.
I don't know. I think those guys over there at the Prop Night dev team, they just kind of fly by the seat of their pants. I literally think that they don't plot things. They're just like, we want to do this, and then they do it.
Yeah, last week we were talking about like maybe the potential like seeing more roadmaps. Maybe they should do one.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the roadmap is on Tuesday. I decided there should be a new survivor, so we made them on Wednesday, and they're released on Thursday. I think that's their roadmap. But anyway, we're leading with Prop Night. What's going on?
Oh
Yeah.
We need to... Actually, we've decided we're not going to launch straight into game talk. We're just going to kind of chill out for a second. So how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you, John?
I'm recovering from an illness, which the audio-only listeners may be able to hear. They may be able to detect the receding sick in my voice.
Yeah, I picked up on it when we were talking before the podcast. I was like, John sounds like he might be unwell. Potentially suffering from the T virus? I don't know.
Oh.
Oh, the T virus. Doug's got Resident Evil on the brain.
Yeah, why did I mention the T virus? That's because last night, guys, I wrapped up for my first viewing and only viewing the Resident Evil Netflix series.
Oh man.
Did you like it?
Such a wonder to behold.
I haven't watched it. I've only watched John's video on it because I was like,
Well, I couldn't decide if I liked it. So first thing after I woke up this morning, I made sure to watch John Wolf's review to be sure like what I saw was what I saw and make sure that my feelings were valid. And yeah, I think John pretty much validated everything that I was feeling in terms of the entire series. It's one of those series that like, it's so bad, it's amazing. Like I'm so glad that I watched it. Like I would be disappointed if I hadn't seen it now that I've seen it. Would I recommend it to somebody that's not like me? Probably not. It's like unwatchably bad overall.
Yeah, it's sad because a lot of the payoff is late in the series. A lot of the best scenes and a lot of the most like what
so you
the
have
hell
to
were
push
they
through the
thinking
worst of it to get to the main ones.
Literally, like episodes, I would say like 2 through 6 are just. It's like they may as well not even be there. Frankly,
Yeah, it's like fluff.
There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of like the plot slows to a crawl towards those I think the middle of the
have
season.
Netflix killed that off yet? Is that one of Netflix's
immediately?
main
Like didn't it get canceled like a week after it came out or something? Like they just immediately got canceled.
Shit.
It was very quick, yeah.
So we're not getting a DVD chapter relating to the Netflix series.
No.
I mean, as well as the DVD chapter.
Listen, if they do a DVD chapter, a third one on Resident Evil, it's got to be Lady D. There's no way.
Yeah. Well, at least something.
If they want to make as much money as possible, they're doing that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have like some cosmetics and nothing else. Like even just like imagine a Heisenberg one for Deathslinger. Make his gun like his like weird little hammer thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well as the Resident Evil chapters have performed, I wouldn't doubt that they'll continue to go back to it again and again. So they might even run out of stuff and just have to do the Netflix series at some point, right?
Oh, God.
We got
really
nothing
fun.
left.
We'll get Alice as a survivor.
Yeah, we're going to have a Bert chapter.
No. Alice.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite character from the Resident Evil franchise.
Yeah.
I remember watching the second Resident Evil movie where they like showed Jill Valentine from the games. And they showed Raccoon City, and I was like, "Oh, awesome!" And like for the first bits of the movie where it was about Jill and stuff, I was just like, "Yes!" And then Alice came in and she just hijacked the whole.
That's when she comes in through the window,
story.
right, in the church.
Yeah, just like the classic jump scare. Oh!
See, I quite like Alice in the first film. I think where it went wrong was when it started to introduce Jill, and then like later it introduces Chris and stuff. You're like, well, I would rather watch these characters because I know them.
Exactly. That's exactly my issue. I don't dislike Alice in the movies, but when they start bringing in the classic characters, I'm just like, well, I want them to be the main character now. It was fine when they weren't in it, but now that they're in it, I don't want Alice anymore.
Yeah.
Oh well. Resident Evil, not exactly renowned for doing a great job with their IP outside of their games, frankly. Although lately they've done
honestly,
job.
even in their games, like they're pretty. Their main line's pretty good, but they can't do multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, I saw someone try to play Reverse. Like
I still haven't played it.
Oh, I have to look. I'm gonna get the player count right now while you guys are talking.
I think it would upset me to watch Reverse because this is what they killed Resistance for.
Yes. No, and it's 10 times a worse game. I'm gonna guess 50 concurrents, by the way.
46 with a 52-hour or 52 24-hour peak.
Ooh, that's a lot considering.
You're like right in the middle. I mean, it's more than last year. I think last time I checked, last year had 1 for the monthly average. You had 0 now with 1 in the 30-day average. And I'd like to just imagine there's like one dude who's out there waiting, just like, come on, someone join my lobby. Come on.
I thought the game was like taken offline.
No, they did that with Hide or Die. Last year they kept up. I think it's peer-to-peer now, but last year you can still, theoretically, you can still play. So if we get a group of 5, we could actually go grind some last year, boys. What do you think?
Oh my God.
Who's down?
I can think of nothing I would enjoy more than to grind a dead game. Yeah. Like a confirmed kill game.
That's kind of my whole brand, I feel like, is just grinding dead games. So.
Hey, Home Survive is still alive and kicking, all right?
Yeah. I just said it so Gary wouldn't. Oh, this is a reality.
You don't play dead games. You play dying games.
Slowly dying. I mean, we all play DBD.
I can save her, Gary. I can save her.
You're like desperately trying to come on VHS, come on.
CPO. No, VHS is fine. We'll talk about that later. VHS is gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine, but we'll talk about that later.
Doug's weekly plea to play VHS. It's like you know how like PBS will do those like pledge drives like once a year. It'd be like, your support means everything to us. Please keep this going. That's like what Doug does every week for VHS here on Spine Show. We just need some callers in the back.
We're gonna start fundraising for Hellbent. Like, call this number. Donate some money to the devs. So they gotta get crossplay
today.
They make your pledge to crossplay. We need it. Yeah,
if you want crossplay, we're gonna need those pledges.
How's everyone's year for asymmetrical gone so far?
I actually haven't played as much as I wanted to because, like I said, I've been sick for like 5 to 6 days.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I only got to play like DBD once this week, and then I haven't played anything else really.
How was it? How was that?
Well, I played Killer only, and it was fine. It was fun.
Hang on, am I outnumbered now? Am I surrounded by killer mains?
I've been playing more Survivor than Killer lately.
Oh, so. There we go. John's become a killer main. Doug is a Survivor main, and I'm still in the middle. Perfect.
Whoa. Let's not use the M word.
No, you're a Survivor main.
Let's not use the M word. All right? Uncalled for. No, I'm just broadening my horizons, Gary.
No, I had a lot of fun when I've streamed twice so far this year only, but Killer both times, and I've had a good time. Although I find myself thinking Eruption is kind of okay now, actually.
All of a sudden, right? I think it's came on.
You know what? Eruption's kind of needed to deal with these toxic Swifts that I keep running into.
I mean, who cares about their food?
Yeah, they don't care about my food, so I don't care about their food.
We'll talk more about the PTB in a bit, but I was surprised to... I didn't think they were going to change it, I suppose, but just to see nothing mentioned about Eruption.
Well, they did. Okay, so yeah, we'll talk about the PTB in a little bit, but I did see, I think Peanuts mentioned on the forums that they were going to address perk changes just at a different time.
Yeah,
probably. I would bet the chapter we'll get another little kind of sweeping change to some of the perks that are heavily complained about, which is literally just Eruption. I feel like, is there any? Let's get real. Is there a single perk that you can think of other than Eruption being complained about right now on either side? I mean, except for Dead Hard, which is always complained about, no matter what, until I delete it.
The resurgence of the Dead Hard complaints is impressive.
It's funny. Yeah. I will say, like, the build that everyone complains about for Killer is Colubrine, Overcharge, Eruption, Nowhere to Hide. But I feel like Eruption is clearly the big issue. Like, if Eruption was taken out of that build, it wouldn't be that big a deal.
Yeah, because, like, Overcharge, Call of Brine can be annoying. I mean, I run it when I play Nemesis, but it's like...
Yeah.
It's counterable.
I don't feel... Anytime I go up against just a Colubrine, Overcharge, Killer without Eruption, it doesn't... I mean, it's annoying. You get a lot of regression value, but... It doesn't feel that bad.
At the same time, for them to get that regression value, they have to protect that gen.
Yeah.
So, and then other gens pop, so it seems fair to me.
Yeah, I don't spend 25 seconds wandering on the map like I can't play the game for 25 seconds with those two perks, so.
No.
I would still like to see Dead Man's Switch adjusted or like fixed, because they obviously wanted to change the way it worked with Pain Res and then reversed it because they broke it with Merciless Storm. So because they wanted to change it, I'd like them to be able to successfully fix that situation. It was more of a Pain Res problem, wasn't it? It was Pain Res that was broken.
Yeah,
I can't really remember.
I don't think there's an issue. Yeah, man. I don't know if I can agree with that. Like, it's not that. I mean, that's what I run. It's not that strong. I lose.
I don't think it's that strong. I just find it a little bit annoying. Pain Res is Dead Man Switch with Pain Res.
I mean,
it is slightly.
It is annoying. Yeah,
you gotta give us something.
It is annoying, but the thing.
Oh, yeah, because without that, you've got nothing on the Killer side.
No,
I don't run the 3-gen stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what else am I supposed to do at this point? Like, if you take that, what do I have left? If I don't run the gen,
I'm just saying because it's something that Behavior wanted to remove that I...
Yeah, but Behavior wanted to add Eruption, so, like, Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry, John. You go ahead,
the reason I have a problem with Eruption and not Deadman Switch is because Deadman Switch has, like, counterplay with Pain Res. Because, like, when I see the aura of them about to be hooked, I get off the gen. A lot of times my solo teammate does not, so it happens anyway. But if you get off the gen and then you get back on after Pain Res, then Deadman Switch doesn't activate unless the killer comes and checks it. So that's why I'm okay with it, because there's some counterplay. With Eruption, if they go down, there's no way.
Do you know what I've had happen too often? I think it's why I don't like Deadman Switch. Like, a random teammate will come up to my generator. I'm like, don't you dare. They touch the generator. I'm like, don't you dare let go. They let go. And I'm like, well, now I can't do the generator anymore. It was close. And now, because you heard the terror radius, it's blocked.
Right.
So can I summarize for Gary? All right. There's a perk in the game.
I feel like this is going to get condescending.
That people struggle to counter. That his teammates struggle to counter, and his answer is nerf it because your teammates are too bad to counter it. That's what your answer. It's to nerf it.
It's that Behavior wanted to remove that combo, and I don't like that they only left it in there because they couldn't be bothered to fix.
If you're an audio-only listener, you're hearing a man with purple hair grasp at straws. So
no, I'm right. They changed Pain Res and then reversed it because it broke Merciless Storm.
Sorry, your teammates are bad, Gary. I want my perk to stay the same. Thank you.
I'm sorry that you need to rely on a singular perk to win, Doug. I'm sorry for that.
Wow. I use more than one perk. I use a full loadout of 4 perks, Gary. Okay, I don't just use 1 perk. That's just dumb. That's inefficient.
I tell you what, I'll meet in the middle. They should buff Nerfed.
And
they should not enough killers bring Nerfed anymore, and it upsets me. I fucking love Nerfed.
Nerfed. Okay, that's one thing we can all agree on. Gary brought us back. Nerfed.
This is why we're a Spine Chill podcast.
Nerfed is a precious perk, precious little cinnamon roll. We must protect it at all costs.
Thank you.
It needs to be brought back.
It's so rare now. It's so rare.
I know, but it's still good. It's still. I mean, you get like basically guaranteed value. It's the same except for the aura reading, but like early on, you still get value out of it. You get about as much value out of it as you got before. I found. I will say. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, John.
Of the regression perks, since we're talking about it, of all the possible combos, Colubrine Overcharge Eruption, Pain Res Deadman Switch, Plaything Pentimento, I will take Pain-Res Deadman switch out of those 3 every time.
Oh, me too.
Every time.
In fairness, me too. Like, I Plaything Pentimento. Like, I take Plaything as Pig just because I know it freaks them out. They don't cleanse. They don't do totems. Yeah. They think I've got Pentimento because it's such a boring thing. I don't take it because it's miserable, but they just leave Plaything sometimes because it's like,
yeah,
it's the lesser of two evils.
I love Plaything by itself. When I play Killer, I'll bring Plaything on Bubba, for example, because holy shit, it's so funny.
It's crazy on him.
Yeah, like the stealth chainsaw is a great move, but yeah, it's miserable with Pentimento, especially because a lot of times if they bring Plaything Pentimento, they'll also bring Colubrine Overcharge or Eruption or something. So those are some of the most miserable.
You're in for a long match.
Yeah, cleansing 8 totems is a little much. Isn't that why they nerfed Undying?
Yeah.
Back in the day, like, oh man, bring back Pop Goes the Weasel is all I'm saying.
I'd love that. I've actually been playing no gen regression on Huntress because I've been learning Huntress, and I've just taken like aura reading stuff because it's fun. Because I'm not a Huntress player, so I was like, you know what? I don't care if I win or lose, but I've generally been doing pretty well. Like after a few matches, I've warmed up and I've started to get the hang of the hatchets. I always thought like I'd never get the hang of that because I suck with Huntress, but like she's so much fun.
It's like it's like riding a bike. Yeah, once you get a hatchet that you didn't think that you would get before, and you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad, and then you can more reliably get them in the future. Yeah,
I've got some like not too many, but like 2 or 3 shots. I'm like, that's good. That's something that people would put in a compilation.
Yeah. Yeah,
like one of their lesser compilation ones, but
I think that's why a lot of streamers like to play Huntress, because she's got those clippable moments and like the high dopamine plays where you get like a cross map or you read them perfectly and get a nice hatchet. She's really fun.
It's interesting that me and John have been playing more Killer, and Doc, you've been playing more Survivor.
Yeah, I have.
Hey, that's interesting. Is this because of the stale nature of DBD at the moment, that like the role we're playing the most, we're like, I need to mix it up because this.
Yeah, that could really be it. I just like to get the bonus BP, and I don't know, it's more challenging, it's more fun. Like when I'm making content, like right now, the games are really, really boring when I'm playing. Like my MMR, I feel like is pretty high, like, and so most of my games are kind of just binary and they feel exactly the same. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just get a little variety playing Survivor. I've been playing other games a lot too, and that's been helping.
That's true. Yeah.
Too,
but Gary and I were talking, I think, before the podcast. I'm not sure if you were in the call or not, Doug, at that point, but I was talking about how I've been playing more Killer, and I've been like trying to, use different ones. I think Gary's been doing the same thing. Like he's been playing Huntress. Yeah. I've been trying to play more like Deathslinger and killers that I previously.
I love Deathslinger.
Yeah, and I've been actually really enjoying Deathslinger. Because previously when I played Deathslinger, I would be like, I just want to play Huntress. I don't want to play this guy because he's got like a range to his gun, and I'm always like, because I always try to hit them like a little too far away, and it doesn't reach or something like that. But I've been really enjoying him. But like normally, like the reason I tend to stream Survivor more is because I like the variety, like you said, and I find Killer to be really repetitive after a while. But it has been refreshing to try killers I don't usually play because it brings like some needed freshness to things.
I think especially like the range killers, because like Deathslinger has the same dopamine hit of when you shoot someone and then when you hit them with a hatchet. Except with Deathslinger, you get to like drag them in, reel them up to you. You're like, no, you're not getting away from me.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing when I play Killer too, though. I've been mixing it up a ton, like playing random killers that I don't normally play, just because, again, maybe it's just the game. Just I don't want to knock it. It's still a great game, but it just feels kind of stale right now. The Killer side is all heavy gen regression. Survivor side is all get gens done as quick as possible, which of course is like the only way to answer to the Killer meta. I'm not blaming either side. It's kind of a cyclical issue, but at the end, it just makes the games for somebody that doesn't run the meta on either side feel kind of boring.
Because like I definitely had some matches as Huntress where it's like, oh, the gens are gone. All right.
Yeah.
Well, on to the next one, I guess.
Yeah. I kind of like I usually run between 1 and 2 slowdowns. I never run 3 or more, but
Yeah.
I even sometimes with like I've noticed with the gen kick stuff because I'll usually run Call of Brine Overcharge as my 2 of choice. I find that I really don't like kicking gens. I would much prefer to chase, and so I actually don't get a ton of benefit out of my slowdown perks.
Would you be better off like Jolt and Pain Res or something?
Yeah, I'm thinking about switching them out for something where I don't have to kick because I just hate doing it. I prefer to just, even if I'm not in a chase, I prefer to search for a survivor, then go kick a gen. I just hate doing it. And so I too am seeing the gens fly. It's almost like running no slowdown sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just not my play style. Like some of these guys, like when I play against killers with gen kick perks in solo queue survivor, it's like they're constantly getting value out of it because they're kind of forcing.
Well, like I quite like kicking gens. Like I've been running. This is like the weirdest combo, I guess. I've been taking Gift of Pain and Oppression, and I think we can all agree Oppression's probably like the worst gen regression one because of the cooldown on it. It's like 45 seconds. You can't kick gens to get pretty value out. But when you get value out of it, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like if you can just keep some pressure on, because that's part of my Death Slinger build. I get is it Trail of Torment? No, hang on. No, what is it? That's not what it's called. Is it? The one you kick the generator and you lose. Yeah, that's it then. Yeah, it's called Trail of Torment.
Yeah,
I take that with it as well. Yeah. So I kick the gen and I get some value out of that, and then that's quite nice. If you hear like an oppression pop go off somewhere, you walk towards it with undetectable. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I think I'm with John. I would basically rather do anything else but kick a gen. I kick a gen if there's like literally nothing else to do, if I'm next to one that's pumping, but like overall, like, I don't know, man. I'm about finding and chasing and downing survivors and hooking survivors. That's what I like to do. So
my chases go pretty, like I catch up with them pretty quickly, so I've got time.
Eric's just better than we are at Killer Doug.
Simply built better, yeah. I guess.
It's just for us, chases take 2 minutes. For Gary, they're 10 seconds, and that's why he likes kicking gens. Because the chases are so boring for him. Yeah.
If I didn't take time to kick the gens, the survivors would be too difficult for them.
Wouldn't even stand a chance.
Well, now that everyone listening's had their daily massive injection of copium, do you want to start talking about the PTB a little bit? We got some stuff to cover.
Before we talk about the PTB, we should go back to Bubba, because there's some big Bubba news on a rumor.
Unofficial Bubba news for DBD. Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's looking like the Bubba license might be going the same way as the Demogorgon, which I was not surprised, because if it is true, I mean, I know Doug's gonna argue with me in a second, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a game that is coming out soon, early this year, where it's going to be a game where we follow the Bubba family. And it would make sense that they don't want to, like, they were either going to go one of two ways. They were going to, like, work with Dead by Daylight, or they're going to try and, like, take their license from Behavior and push their own game to compete. And it kind of makes sense for them to try and compete initially, at least. So it looks like Bubba will be leaving the Dead by Daylight store.
Okay, so
yes, but you still will be able to play Bubba.
Yes, Bubba will still be in the game. Yeah.
Really? You guys? Where did you get all that information from? You guys? Where'd you get all that info from?
Because that's the same way Demogorgon. The Demogorgon.
Okay. Well, because it was what they did with the Demogorgon. So
yeah, who told you that's what they're going to do with Bubba? Who said that?
You think they're going to remove Bubba altogether?
I don't think anything, because nobody said anything that means anything. DBD Leaks has confirmed Candyman like 4 times, right? They told us that Freddy was leaving the game like 6 months ago. Freddy's still in the game, boys. Like,
but one day they might remove Freddy,
and I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's because the state of the game right now is not great and people are acting out, or if it's a slow news week. The PTB, which again I think was a very good and healthy mid-chapter update, is really uninspiring. It's not super exciting. So people need something to... Every time I get on Twitter, all I see is scroll through tweet after tweet. Bubba's leaving, say goodbye to Bubba. And it's like, nothing's confirmed yet. Like, why is this the biggest news on earth? Like,
but like,
I'm not saying it's not possible. And I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense, because yes, TCM's coming and it would make sense. We lost Demogorgon because of a iPhone game or something. So
some
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, is like a massive game that's got a huge amount of hype. So it would make sense for there to be licensing. But I'm just saying, like, just don't start spraying the fire extinguisher until there's a fire. Like, people are freaking out.
I don't think there's a fire either way, because like.
So Gary, now that we've had our daily dose of copium, what are your thoughts on the issue?
Okay, Mr. Oh, I'm sorry for.
I think it's like on a bright side, everyone's going to have access, like, because barbecue and stuff are going to become public perks, which is good.
It would have been good
well,
when the
though.
They
blood point
could
bonus
become
was...
public perks. They could become if it's real.
Okay, right.
I don't think the blood point thing. I never used barbecue because of the blood point thing.
Well, you were in the minority, I think. I think a lot of people use it for the double blood points.
I stopped using it when they took the blood points off. Yeah.
I have noticed a severe lack of barbecue since they removed the blood points in my games.
But I would say that's because there's probably quite a lot of better aura reading perks now.
Well, now that the blood point bonus is gone, it's not worth it. It's like it's not a bad perk. I'll still put barbecue on sometimes, just because I pine for the old days. But I actually saw somebody talk about this. I can't remember who on DBD Twitter. They were talking about how, and I talked about it on my stream too, about how barbecue and chili, the nerf to the blood points, it kind of disincentivized killers from hooking multiple people. It was like a small chink in that armor.
Yeah,
and
that's an interesting point. Actually, I hadn't really thought about that.
Makes sense.
Let me make a note for that because my next video is going to sort of talk about that topic.
Dude, write it down. Yep. You don't want to forget.
Write down. Hurry, yeah.
I'll do it when I can't make noise.
Are you going to attribute it to me, Wolf et al?
Yes. I'll give you a shout out on my massive YouTube channel.
Fully credited.
Yeah. I expect to see I expect to see my name up on the screen.
But yeah, if Bubba leaves, it's. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you?
No, I was just gonna say, I miss barbecue. I miss old barbecue.
Yeah.
So like it potentially going public won't be as big of a deal as it would have been before.
It's just gonna put more Franklin's Demise out there on the open market, is what it's gonna do.
Oh God!
That's a perk that everybody agrees.
What's the other one?
Knockout. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is also pretty unfun,
that's
frankly.
An annoying one. That's an unknown. Yeah.
Knockout's one of those perks. It's basically just there to punish solo queue, because Swift will just be like, yeah, he downed me by main,
Yeah, I'm on tile 11. You get here in 11 seconds if you hold W now.
11 seconds. That's a long run.
11.45 seconds.
I just pulled a number, Gary. Could you just get off my ass?
Everything's 11. Everything's 11 with you.
I'm just trying to have a day, man. You're just attacking me.
Ever since he got the purple hair, right, Doug?
Yeah.
I feel like he's
my ego's gone through
more sassy.
Ever since, yeah. We'll see it in the comments. Ever since he got the purple hair.
He's changed.
All this ego, all this stuff.
I think I'll go back blonde again next.
I'd like that a lot.
You liked the blonde more.
I did.
He was more agreeable with the blonde hair.
Yeah. True. But yeah, so Bubba.
Nowhere's great, isn't it? Nowhere's great.
Bubba's probably leaving. I mean, like I said, it makes sense. But just for me, it's more just like, I just don't like seeing all these people.
I'm gonna miss Bubba and Freddy.
They're just
jumping on DVD leaks, man. Stop validating DVD leaks, dude.
No, I'm on the same page. I don't really like DVD leaks either. Like, they annoy the shit out of me. I hate when people pop into chat and they're like, have you seen the leaks? Go away.
I just hope they're wrong because of them, to spite them, not because I care. I already have Bubba. I'm already prestige 67 or something. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't. The Bubba change affects me not at all, but I just want them to be wrong. So
I will say it will be sad if Bubba goes, just because he is one of. I know this is an unpopular opinion. We'll all agree with it though. One of the most fun killers to go up against.
Yeah. He is an S tier fun killer, I would say, to go against.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd put him in S tier. This is a tier list for the future.
More of a high A, Gary?
More of a high A?
I don't ever go high A either. Like,
what?
There's too many,
you wouldn't go a high A?
No, there's too many face camping Bubbas for it to be. This is a tier list for the future.
We need to do this one, yeah.
I don't consider the face camping Bubba players actual Bubba players. They're just dweebs.
Well, it is a legitimate play style. Yeah, because that happens right here, John.
I've watched Doug play Bubba. He doesn't face camp that often.
Only when I have to.
He doesn't face camp that often.
Yeah.
But yeah, those ones kind of spoil it for me. But to each their own. But yeah, it would be sad to see him go because I think he's one of the most exhilarating chase killers.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. He's got a good counterplay. He seems pretty fair. He's just a great killer.
I mean, they removed Demogorgon for the store how long ago now? Like over a year?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I still go against Demogorgon sometimes as Survivor. Like
see more Demogorgon.
We didn't see him that often in the first place, so
yeah, you see more demos than twins still. So and you can buy twins right now. You can go to Steam and buy it right this.
Have you seen the twins bug on the PTB? I mean, I'm sure you have. Yeah. You'll follow Linksy.
I unfollowed her months ago. Yeah. Like I saw you like the tweet.
When she showed it to me, and I was like, that's a bug. They're definitely going to take that away. She's like, they haven't confirmed it's a bug yet. It might be a new thing. I was like, that's a bug. There's no fucking
It's where you
way.
can switch back really quickly, right?
Yeah, like immediate switching.
Kind of too quickly.
It's been confirmed to be a bug now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad. I noticed her and other twins mains were just like, this feels so great. And I was like, it feels so great because it's OP. It's a problem if that goes to live. That's why.
If anyone doesn't know, John does not have a high opinion of the twins.
Right.
I don't.
Okay.
You're right.
This is a conversation for another segment, but does the instant switch make twins better than Nurse?
No.
Spirit? Or Blight?
No.
And how can it be OP, Mr. Wolf?
Well, all three of those are OP.
I would argue.
I think this might be another high A situation.
I'd argue just the Nurse. I'd argue just the Nurse is actually OP. I'd argue just the Nurse is actually overpowered on that list.
On the topic of the Nurse, maybe we should discuss the Nurse nerfs.
Yeah, the PTV.
The PTV, yeah. Should we talk about the Nurse?
Oh yes, they really manhandled the Nurse in the PTB, didn't they?
Because everyone's like throwing the word around nerfed, and I'll be interested to hear what you guys think because I don't see the nerf. I just don't see it. So they've changed the blink attacks to an M2. So
which is a good change.
Fantastic change. So she won't be able to work with the same way with like Sloppy Butcher and Starstruck. Noed, like all of those perks are now not going to work.
Yeah, Starstruck,
with her blink attacks. Her ranged add-ons have been removed and replaced.
Great.
And she's got
another great change.
And a bunch of reworks to a bunch of her perks.
I
didn't write them all down, but I thought a couple that I thought were interesting are like Badman's Last Breath, where hitting a survivor with a blink attack, you are undetectable for 25 seconds, which is up from 16, which I hope people use that because that sounds fun. And Jenna's Last Breath, once all blinks are used, can immediately blink back to original position and all blinks are replenished, which I think's another interesting one.
Interesting is one word for it, yeah.
Well, apparently people are already using it in... There's already people complaining about it, that apparently what a nurse is doing is going to the middle of the map and then using 3 blinks, because there is the torn bookmark, which gives you an extra blink or whatever, and they're just basically searching the entire map for everybody and finding where everyone is. So you won't need Lethal Pursuer, essentially, but I don't see the big deal.
Okay. You want me to go?
Yes, I'd love you to, Doug.
Okay. You can't say it's not a nerf because unquestionably taking away range add-ons, taking away recharge add-ons, reworking out, that is a nerf. Now, what you can say is that after this nerf, the Nurse is still unquestionably the best killer in the game without
that's kind of my point.
Cool
that's
nerf,
my point.
Cool nerf guys still literally broken. Like no matter what. Like good nurses don't need add-ons or perks to win. They just win because they counter everything that a survivor can do. You have to have like skill to do that. And they've taken away some of the training wheel stuff that makes unskilled nurses like myself unstoppable, right? But an actual nerf, yes, but a nerf, no. Like she's still the best killer.
I think that's my issue. I don't see it as a nerf. I see it as a change.
Yeah, like a rework. Yeah, she got less effective. Like she's not free anymore.
Well, as you say, like less people, unskilled nurses won't be able to succeed so easily with her, but like her ceiling and her potential, basically the same.
Yeah. Virtually unchanged, right?
Yeah.
The ones like the Alfs, the super Alfs who get 550 kill 4Ks in a row didn't need range add-ons and recharge add-ons to be effective with her. They just never miss a blink. They're just perfect on their blinks. Yeah. And if you're perfect with your blinks, they can't win.
So I mean, how do you feel, John?
Well, yeah. So I mean, it is a nerf, right? Like the M2 change is great. So they can't get value out of Starstruck, which was a major issue. You know, Starstruck nurse, a thing of the past.
Which are out of the woodwork at the moment, aren't they? They're back in the game. I'm seeing more nurses again, and they're all running Starstruck.
Yeah, they're trying to get value out of it one last time, desperately. So that's great. It's also great that they got rid of the double range add-on combo. But yeah, like Doug said, she's still the best killer in the game. And I think that kind of just goes to show how crazy she is right now on live servers. Like how far ahead she is of any other killer, of even Spirit and Blight, that they can make 2 significant nerfs and she's still the best. So, I mean, I don't know what to recommend at this point because it kind of seems like they're not going to nerf her more after this. So we're just kind of going to be stuck with another 5 years of Nurse being the unquestionably best killer in the game. But I think they could do a little more.
It's for me. It was quite disappointing because I would like to see Blight be the strongest killer because I feel like he takes a lot of skill to be good with.
Blight has a higher skill ceiling than Nurse, I would say. Yeah, like to be really good with Blight takes more involvement than Nurse. Yeah.
Yeah, and even a good Blight, I feel like I can kind of loop a little bit.
It does feel like you have more of a chance.
Nurse, there's just nothing.
Because Blight actually has to go. Even if you do that mouse DPI shit and all the flicks, you still have to go around walls as Blight to actually hit people. You can't go through them like Nurse, right? So
I'd argue that Blight is really easy to be okay at. Like you can still.
Oh, I'd agree.
If you're an okay Blight, you're better than 98% of the roster, right? You have more tools at your disposal.
Well, like you can just bring an okay build and just protect gens.
Yeah, but to truly be like an insane Blight takes a tremendous amount of mechanical skill. I would argue. Yeah, I would agree with that. And again, for whatever reason, people for years have pretended like Nurse is the same way, and it's like just not. You just use the right add-ons and perks, and she's insane and unstoppable. I do think the skill ceiling is higher. To be a great Blight is harder than being a great Nurse, but like a good Nurse is better than a great Blight. But then a good Blight is better. A good Blight is better than like a great Wesker. So it's this.
Yeah,
it's this whole balance.
Yeah, he's still like an S tier killer. I would have liked to have seen Nurse brought down into like B tier or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever
just dragging her down. Got her.
I have a thought, and this is something I've kind of thrown out there on the stream before. I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. What if? Because this is just, I mean, admittedly, this isn't a change I've thought through completely, and I'm not a Nurse main. But what if instead of 2 blinks, she had just 1?
Amazing.
I agree. I think the second blink for me, you know how everyone hates old Dead Hard?
Yeah.
That's what her second blink is.
Yeah, Nurse has Dead Hard base kit. Yeah.
Would you have add-ons that can add a second blink, or would it just be like, you balance her around a single blink?
I would have it if you want 2 blinks, you bring Torn Bookmark, right?
That makes the recharge
but it's
longer.
A pink add-on.
Yeah. And she'd still be the best killer in the game, even with that. She'd still be the best killer in the game, but we'd make it. Because what I think we're going to see, it will get better.
I would disagree, just to jump in there. I would disagree with giving her the bookmark. Like, I would take away that add-on. I'd make it a single blink only. Because if you do that, you just make it so everyone always has to bring that.
True.
And then there's no variety. I think you can do more interesting things with add-ons without giving her a second blink.
Would we baseline, use the add-on, make the add-on baseline that makes so if you hit a blink hit, you go up to 115 so you can actually win a chase after your first hit? Because you can't close distance with 1 blink. You're going to get your 1 blink hit, even if you have a perfect first blink and get a hit.
I think.
What if you charged? What if you made her speed faster naturally and she charged her blinks in chase?
Ooh.
Like, because I've always thought it was like a little ridiculous that she's 3.8 meters per second. Like, she's slower than survivors naturally. She's the only killer in the game like that. So you could up her base speed in compensation for losing 2 blinks. I think it's the second blink that really puts her over the top for me.
Yeah.
So,
but then again, like I said, like I have to be impartial and say, like, if you have a single blink, you're gonna get a blink hit. They're gonna get all the distance from the hit, and then how many blink recharges to get caught back up, and then get another blink, right? It's not gonna be fair.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of having like
I'm okay with
she can terrible, like she can have 2 blinks, but she's got to charge them up in a chase. Because like they've kind of gone in that direction anyway. Because obviously Dredge has to charge up the Nightfall. What other killers have to do stuff like that? There's another one, isn't there? Who else charges something?
What if they just
made her with his blood has to charge that up?
Yeah.
What if they just made her a 110 killer with 1 blink? And that was it. So she moves 4.4 meters per second.
That would be unfair too, though, because then you would be able to just catch up, get a blink hit automatically. You know what I mean? Like you'd have the blink. The blink would just be like an automatic hit if you were able to chase holding M1 or holding W.
But I feel like without 2 blinks, survivors would have a harder time, or survivors would have a much easier time counterplaying against a single blink nurse.
I don't know. I have to like test it, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's hard to talk about, you know.
It's just like, imagine if the hag could just like blink on somebody and hit them, like that's the movement speed you're talking, or like the huntress.
I think what we're saying is that it'd be nice to see more of an adventurous rework of the nurse rather than just a slight tinkering of her strongest perks.
Yeah, like I think her power needs to be addressed, is basically what I'm saying with that. Yeah.
Because like everyone got so excited on Twitter, so I'm like, nurse nerf, yay! And I was like looking through, I was like, why? Okay, she's still gonna be. I mean, you still bump into her, she's still gonna be the most miserable thing to go up against.
I'm glad something is happening. You know,
it means they're aware that nurse is unpopular. She must have the highest DC rate. For sure. Followed by like Pinhead or something, and twins.
I wonder what stats they're working off of, because like all the stats that they publish are like nurse has the lowest kill rate, and so people have been joking for years like that's why they'd never nerf the nurse, is because they think from these stats that she's the worst or whatever. But they clearly are working off of some sort of statistics.
I would love to see DC rates. Interesting, because the DC penalties were off recently, weren't they? Because the servers were all fucked.
Yeah.
And I noticed very few survivors actually DCing against me, which I thought was fun when I was playing Killer. And I think like a lot of people who were just like using the DC penalty being off were going up against shitty killers, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Like if I saw a nurse, I was like, oh fuck this. If I got anyone else that was like a fun killer, I was like, I'll play. I don't care. I don't want a DC. I want to play the game.
I even played Legion twice last Tuesday and I didn't get a DC.
Oh wow,
that's interesting.
Yeah. That's because I'm a fun Legion, though.
It's because you probably weren't bringing, like, the worst builds in the world, so it wasn't like, oh, God.
I mean, I brought Thanophobia, but I didn't bring, like, I basically had no slowdown other than that. I had Thanophobia and Sloppy. I didn't run any kick builds or anything, and they were always healing, so I never got full value out of it.
Yeah, I think there's this idea that survivors will just DC against whenever they go down. I just didn't see it when I was playing. But it could be MMR as well, like, it could be certain MMRs, it's worse.
I think we're just fun. That's what I'm going to choose to believe.
Maybe. We do like it. We do like Nerfed.
True.
We do. Yeah.
All of us equally, I feel like.
Yeah.
I want to get a no-ad tattoo. I don't know about you guys.
I'm getting a no-ad tattoo.
Matching no-ad tattoos?
Which side of the face are you going to get it on?
Right here on the neck.
I was thinking right on my forehead.
Here on the neck.
Right on my forehead. Square and center.
Do the neck.
I'm going to get it under my lip.
Gary gets the chin, and we have full no-ad coverage.
One day my grandkids are going to be like, what does the skull and bones mean, Dad? Or Granddad? And I'll be like, it's from the perk Hex. No one escapes death from Dead by Daylight.
The game that I still stream.
From the early 21st century that I still stream to this day for 15 people.
Because Twitch no longer exists. But yeah, so that's the nurse nerf.
And then otherwise in the PTB we got the night buffs. Mm-hmm. I guess we could call night buffs.
Oh, there was one last thing about nurse.
Oh,
did you guys hear the new chase music?
Yeah,
no,
loved it. I haven't heard it.
I like most of it. I don't like the actual chase part where the drums kick in, but everything else I think is awesome. John, you have to listen to it after the podcast.
I'll listen to it. Yeah. I should have done my homework. Damn.
Anyway,
I will say one last thing about the nurse before we move on tonight, though, is that new add-on where you can blink and then teleport back to where you originally were from the blink. I've said this on the podcast many times. One of the reasons I don't like playing against like Dredge and Sadako is because instead of using their powers in an interesting way, most people I play against as Survivor will just use their power to teleport right back to the hook, right back to the locker next to the hook, right back to the TV next to the hook, and just use it to like proxy camp, basically. And that's exactly what people are doing with this new nurse add-on. They're blinking away from the hook and then, oops, coming right back to it. I have seen some people use it in chase effectively, which those clips have been really cool. I think I saw one from King where he like pretended to blink after one person, then he blinked back and got a hit on someone else. And I was like, oh, that's really sick. But then I've also seen clips where people use it to teleport back to the hook. And I'm like, of course.
So disable it in like a 16-meter radius of the hook. Boom. Solved.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that solves the problem.
Can't tell. Kind of like the twins. You can't put Victor down when somebody's hooked. You can't use that add-on when somebody's hooked.
Dredge can't teleport to lockers right next to the hook.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Demogorgon can't put his tunnels right next to the hook. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I think it's a cool add-on. And I didn't think people are overreacting with like, 7 blink is back. It's like, well, not technically, but
every PTB, people blow this shit out of the water.
It's like the Boone Circle of Healing shit again. Isn't
it's like all the people talking about Bubba leaving the game. It's the exact same thing, right? You guys just like, just overreaction.
I mean, you guys saw that one clip from that one killer streamer back before they stopped you from having one state of deep wound. From endurance, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
And he was playing Survivor, and he was like, you can hit me. And the killer hit him. And he said, you can still hit me. And then they hit him again. And he said, you can still hit me. And then they hit him again. And then he said, you can still hit me. And the killer hit him again. And then he ran out the exit gate. And everybody was just like, this is the future liberals want. Whoa! All that crap. And it was like, oh my God, dude. Can we please stop overreacting to these PTB clips, okay? Especially because like that on live servers. It's never like that.
I went against a team that were doing that on the PTB when that was the new problem, and I won because they didn't do any gens because they had to like use Metal of Man so much to like charge that shit up.
Yeah,
so they were just constantly getting hit, and I was like, this is fine by me. I don't care.
You know, they did the same thing with the Circle of Healing PTB when they would have like on the game where there was like 4 circle like 4 levels, so they were all in the same, and then they had We'll Make It, and they had empathy or not empathy, but botany knowledge. Like, it's a 2-second heal. The new meta.
But then I was like, anyone doing that though? Imagine trapping yourself in your own personal hell by doing that. Like you can't leave this the human centipede you've created of healing. Like
well, what's the end game there? They're not doing anything.
Yeah, just everyone's miserable.
They've got to stop sometime.
Yeah. Anyways, I think it's you're right though. It's the overreaction on the PTB is just as consistent as the sunrise every day. It's gonna happen. So.
7 blink nurse is back. Calm down, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So that's nurse.
Anyway.
Tonight,
the knight got buffed. Gary, you're the nerd that knows stats and reads books, so maybe you can give us a breakdown of the buffs.
I wrote down notes.
Thank you.
The knight is now forced out of his guard summon after 10 seconds, so you can no longer use it to hide your radius, because I don't know if you go into shoot your orb, the terror radius follows it. Your night orb now shrinks with distance, disappearing after 10 meters, so you can actually use it to sneak up on survivors now, to an extent. If your patrol path is greater than 10 meters, you get a haste status effect bonus between 2 to 6 seconds, depending on the length of the path you create. So I think it's between 10 meters and 32 meters can change how much haste you get. Depending on your patrol path, guards get to the survivor position faster than the longer the path is. So if you do a really long path, once they detect the survivor, they'll get there a lot quicker because they've got that wind-up period where they plant their banner down and stuff. And then they now have a 5% generator damage for the guards, up from 2.5%. So there's more encouragement to use them in more interesting ways than just dropping them at loot, basically. I think that's the whole plan. for the night buff.
I mean, it's a buff in the same way that Nerf is a nerf. Like, he's still pretty bad, I feel like, and I don't think that his... I mean, I played him on the PTB, granted very limited, like 3 or 4 games, and he didn't feel much different to me.
Right.
Kind of people are still going to use the same strat. They're just going to play him like pad artist.
Right. It's like
put the unit down and run to the next tile.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice, I guess, that he has these changes, but yeah, I mean, why play like this when you can continue to play Knight the way that most people have been playing him for the past few months, which is still probably stronger.
Someone will lean into the new changes and do a 100-page guide on the Knight soon, though. They'll have it ready.
we should go through that 100-page thing and read it and learn.
The 100-page clown guide, yeah.
I don't mind the Knight buff. I think it's actually quite a good thing. Like, I think it will mean that you can play him in a more versatile way. I think it will make him more interesting. I do think it's going to make him a little better. I think people will be able to use him. He's still going to be a bad killer, I guess. Like, he's not going to be strong, but I don't mind that. I don't mind a fun shit killer, and I think he'll be more fun to play now.
Yeah. Again, hopefully I didn't have the tone of like being against the buff or having anything.
Oh no! I just like
it's more just like it doesn't feel like it does anything tangible. Like it's just whatever. It's a quality of life increase at best, and it doesn't increase quality of life for facing the Knight. It's just playing the Knight is a little bit more
I'd like to see a bit more of a massive rework where they change his guards to be add-on dependent. So like you choose which one you bring in with you. I think that'd be a much more interesting way to change him. So if you want to be a chasing Knight, you might bring the assassin. If you want to be really patrolly and protect hooks, the jailer. And if you want to be, kicking generators and breaking pallets with them, bring the Carnifex. I think swapping between the 3 makes him too messy to play.
They could also buff each one individually if you only get one, and
that's what I mean.
Make them more effective, right? Yeah, that actually, I don't hate that idea at all.
I'd make all 3 guards better, but you only get the one.
And that'd be pretty easy for an add-on rework too, because you could have like the brown add-on just be like that's who you get, and then like the yellow, green, and all the corresponding ones would be like they make it a little bit better. Yeah. Right. Make it do.
And if you bring no add-on for one, I don't know. You'd have to. Maybe there'd be one that's by default.
No add-ons. You don't get a unit, but you can do it 120 movement speed.
You could just make it so the jailer's like the default, because that would probably still be the weakest.
Yeah, I see it.
And then you can make him stronger by adding 2 add-ons to make him better.
Yeah.
The Knight.
Anyways, that's the Knight. He's still the Knight, but now with a little extra stuff you can do.
In other changes, there's the new UI. They've been testing that out, which we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago now. But
I don't think we need to talk about it too much, right? Well, now we saw what it looks like with video instead of a screenshot.
Well, there's been some things that have been revealed that we didn't know about.
There's some new things to it. So now it can. So we know repairing generators, opening chests, and cleansing boons, or cleansing totems. Sorry, but it can also shows when you are setting up boons, healing and mending. Exit gates being worked on. And this is the one that I think is the most interesting, is recovery from the dying state. You actually see a little meter that shows how recovered you are.
Yeah.
So people know when to come get you. And then also they've also added it so you can tell when someone's waking up or snapping out of it for the Doctor and Freddy. Which I thought was like a nice touch.
So that's a buckle up nerf, I think, guys. I mean...
It is. But they actually reworked buckle up.
Oh, have they? I didn't notice that.
I wouldn't know, yeah.
Well, tell me more, John. What does it do?
It's. I don't have the exact verbiage in front of me right now, but
let me try.
They have made it to where when you get somebody up from the ground from the dying state with buckle up, they get a haste effect for 10%, I believe, and you both you and the person you get up see the killer's aura for 10 seconds, I think.
Oh, nice.
They didn't mention it in the patch notes.
6. Yeah, it was kind of a stealth change. But yeah, they have changed buckle up. Honestly, it's kind of unexciting. It was just kind of like, well, we want to make this change, but oh shit, that's exactly what buckle up does. I guess we'll change it. And they just kind of threw one on it. Because it's the kind of thing where it's like, well, I'd rather run like Soul Guard or Wiglif or something than that. But hey, it's something, right?
Yeah.
I will say on the recovery progress note, I was surprised that they had that. I feel like I feel like that's like a little too much information, frankly. I don't know. It'll be useful, but I kind of like the mystery of going over to someone and not knowing how far they've recovered, so there's a little risk to it.
Well, here's the trouble, because you can't really have the middle ground. If the purpose of these UI add-ons is to bring it to the same, like as close as they can to Swift, they have to give you all of that information. Which is why I don't like it, because I don't really want pretty much any of this information. I quite like solo queue being this world of chaos and not knowing what anyone's doing. I particularly think this is going to be bad for stealth killers, who, when you drop chase as a Wraith or a Sadako or any killer really, you might try and sneak up on someone, but that's going to be more difficult now because you're going to know that they've left the chase. So yeah, I don't like how much information is being given to me in this mode, but I understand why they're doing it. But I mean, Doug helped me find all the data for how many people. The data was from 2019, and basically 60% of players were in solo queue, and about 10% are in 4-man Swifts.
Yeah, and I don't think that's much different now either.
Like, I doubt it's changed from 2019.
It's probably
I see
the same,
there's no like dramatic shift in the game or shift in the player base in the last couple of years that's going to make all of a sudden those numbers change substantially, maybe 5% here.
Yeah, so I'm a bit disappointed to see that the 60%, like the majority of the player base, is now going to be kind of dragged into Swift mode a bit more. And I do think it's going to make post games a little more toxic when it's like, why were you doing a totem? Why are you opening a chest whilst I was on hook? I think it's just going to get a little bit.
People already do that, though.
Yeah, people are already assholes, but
people are already doing that shit. But the thing is, they'll be completely wrong.
Now they'll have facts and figures to back them up.
Resist it as we may, I mean, the direction the game is going is more competitive. They're balancing it. I went off the other day, but
Doug, this is the first time you've said this. To me, at least.
It's the reality.
No,
maybe it's because maybe. Well, I think I have.
Week.
Thanks.
Did he? Because usually he argues with me and says, "I will agree that it's going competitive when they add."
No, I'll agree when it's going esports when they add a better.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
I don't think that behavior is necessarily pushing for it to be an esports game, but they are pushing for a competitive balance game. I kind of went off on stream the other day, and again, maybe because I've been playing so many other ASIMs and seeing like. Kind of getting that old vibe of like anything can happen, the RNG, excitement, whatever. And then like kind of going back to DBD and playing what feels like a very binary and more balanced game. Yeah, I went off on stream the other day because somebody was talking about, I just want the game to be balanced. And I was like, no, you don't. You don't. Because if you did, you'd be happy right now. You'd be happy with the changes they're making. Like everybody who's saying they want a more balanced DBD, like every single chapter that comes out, every single patch that they do, the game gets more balanced than it was the time before. Now, if you don't like the way it looks when it's balanced, there you go.
Well, that's the
like, reality.
That's one of the points I make in my YouTube video is I say like, what the final chapter is called, "What do you want?" And it's just like pointing out like behavior have given us what we wanted, balance, but we all hate it. So I don't know why we're celebrating this UI thing. I just don't get it.
Because four survivors on comms that are fully coordinated against a killer who is an A tier or above running the Gen Kick Eruption build, that's a balanced game of DBD. Anyone can win. Yeah. Right? But that's not what most games look like. But that balance exists within DBD now. It's outside of the maps, which are, again, becoming more balanced. We'll mention Eerie of Crows got a nice little rework on the PTB. Which
I will say the game is more balanced than it has ever been, and I do think this UI thing improves the balance even more.
Yep. And
but I suspect in about 2 to 3 months, everyone's gonna be like, "Why does DBD keep getting more stale?" Yeah. And then they lose a match, and like, "Oh, this game's so unbalanced."
Yeah. Because people's idea of balance is whatever side they primarily play, make the other one worse. That's what balance looks like to a lot of people that are kind of casually looking in at the game.
People that get like competitive in Mario Party.
I mean, that's me too, but I never complain about the balance though.
Yeah.
I'm just stoked that I moved the most spaces so I get to win now, you know? Like, yeah.
But Mario Party is like an RNG heavy game. Like the amount of stars, you can just be given stars at the end. And I think DBD's similar.
Well, I mean, it is, but I miss when it was more RNG heavy.
Yeah, me too.
Because now it's just it's still RNG heavy, but the RNG is.
Well, ultimately, I think. Do you think they're gonna start rethinking about the way tiles spawn, or the way pallets and vaults spawn, and breakable doors, and items in chests, and like all these other factors that are randomized? Like, if you're gonna make it competitive, if you look at Overwatch or League of Legends or Rainbow Six Siege, the levels are static.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't
think they're going to go full Overwatch 2 mode just yet, just because they're adding some solo queue icons.
I don't know what I'm saying is, like, people are going to continue to blame balance for their defeats.
Well, yeah.
And
they're
then
gamers.
The solution to that is balance it more.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen.
I just know that I will have a better experience as a solo queue survivor player with these icons than I did before, and so I'm happy with this change overall.
Same.
I know it's not going to stop some people from complaining. They're going to complain no matter what. And I know that for some people, these icons won't do anything. They're just going to ignore them like as if they weren't even there. But for me, it'll improve the game. So Agreed. I'm happy that they're there.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because how many times have you gone over to somebody who's slugged on the ground in solo queue to get them up because they've been there for like 45 seconds, and then you're like, oh my god, the bar's empty. You weren't even recovering.
Yeah.
And then you go down.
I was playing on stream. I was doing viewer games once, and one of my moderators didn't recover, and I was like, that was
I really wish you'd said that. One of my ex-moderators.
I mean, it was almost a former. No, seriously, this is back when I was way more unhinged. Like, I was not as happy as I am these days. I took these things a lot more serious. I was very competitive.
Before Doug knew me and you, John.
True.
Yeah.
Before you guys made me find my sunshine. Back when I was just living in the dark all the time. I used to take DBD really serious. I was very, very competitive. And yeah, this was like, for me, I was very upset that this person had not recovered while they were on the ground.
If times are the way they are now, would there be a YouTube video about you?
There would be. You'd be featured in a Spook and Chips video. Salty TTV berates his teammates.
I don't think I ever went that hard, but I mean, there was
just teammates. Moderator.
Moderators. Yeah. Berates his moderators.
I think
How could he?
That's a catchy title.
I think I took it out of myself more than anybody, and then I just there's just some. I'll show you guys some clips sometimes from.
I would love to.
Some desk punches and some
desk punches.
Oh yeah, there's a desk punch over. I couldn't get a hag trap to go down on the game, and I punched my desk.
If we can find that clip, we should put it at the end of the podcast.
I'm down. I'm down to embarrass myself. I'll embarrass myself for clicks, guys. I'm down. Yeah.
We should do that. Because I have a video we could watch of me too. Back when I was first starting Killer, I uploaded it to my main YouTube channel like I would say like 2.5 years ago or so. It's me playing Pig, and I was getting so mad at these survivors who kept flashlight blinding me because I didn't know the strat of like looking at the wall at that point. Right. I was kind of new, and I got so angry that I face camped the guy at the end, and I was just like, no, fuck you, you're dying.
Okay. I want to see
the rest
that.
of you can go. Fuck you. I was like really upset.
To see that clip. Yeah.
Because I would never react that way now, but it's just so funny to look back on.
I would love
how
to
far
watch
we've
that.
come. Yeah. If only we had an embarrassing match from Gary.
I don't know if I've there's surely something of me being angry. I don't know if I know what it is.
I was gonna say all of his matches are like low key embarrassing, so we don't.
Yeah, there's loads of me losing.
We probably don't have any of him actually getting angry because he's too personally fulfilled to care about DBD. But
yeah,
I'll find a sick Huntress hatchet or something.
Yeah, that'll fit the theme.
Or just me missing.
So,
fuck.
I think last steps on the PTB is the Eerie rework, right?
There's also just as a couple of like tidbits to add as well. There's the Merciless Killer change. So.
Oh yeah, Adepts.
Which most people, and I'm probably in the minority here. Most people are like very happy that it's going to be easier to get Adept.
Yeah.
But I don't see how it's easier unless you're like, when you get to red rank, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get Adept at that point. But in Ash, it's easy as piss. You can do it in like you can get 2k and get. I will agree that it's like it makes more sense. It's more clear how to get it. But a 4k just means Hatch is miserable, and I wonder how DCs are going to work as well.
Yeah, that's a good question. The DC one, because I was gonna say, it brings it in line with the Survivor Adepts, which are basically you escape by any means you get it. It's very, very easy.
Yeah.
You can literally hide in a locker all game and get it with the hatch.
Yeah.
And I will say that like I kind of like that I didn't like that it was inconsistent from Ash to Iridescent, because like at that point you're getting punished. Like if you get to Iridescent 1 and then like you say you want to go for an achievement, now you're being punished for being Iridescent 1. Like you have to wait till the 15th to go for your challenge. Like, that doesn't seem, or the 13th to go for your challenge. That seems kind of silly. I like that it's consistent now. I don't know. I got them all without having to do with the 4K, so it's whatever.
I do find that getting a 4K is easier than getting a double pip. Getting a double pip is you can get. I've gotten so many 4Ks and not double pipped going for adepts.
Same.
And it's hard with particular killers because some killers lend themselves better to getting double pips than others. Some killers are very hard to double pip with because you don't use their power and as much as others. And also some killers have just far worse perks.
True.
In their set of 3 than others. And it's you can get a 4K if you play uber ruthlessly, but with certain sets of 3 perks, like, you know, getting the double pip can be harder. So I appreciate this change a lot.
Yeah, also one thing to mention too, is that it doesn't just apply to the adepts. Like, it's just nice for people that are maybe survivor mains or killer mains, you know, or survivor mains that want to get their blood points for getting Eerie 1 killer, but they don't want to have to. Because, I mean, sometimes it takes a while to pip up on killer. Sometimes it takes, once you get into Eerie ranks, like, you have to have a pretty solid game to pip. Now it's just like, if you get, what is it, a 3K you pip? 4K you double pip? Like, you can get.
Well, is it actually changing the pip system? I thought it was just changing the way the Adept achievement works.
I thought I don't think it's changing how pips that you see. I think the pips are the same.
It's not going to give you 2 pips for a merciless anymore?
No, I think it will, I guess, but I think it's...
So if a 4K is a merciless and then 2 pips for a merciless, it would stand to reason. I haven't tested it, but...
I don't know, I assumed pips would still be associated with points, but I don't know.
I think if you double pip... I think you can't double pip without 4King though, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, you can. You can 4K. You can double pip with a hatch. If you get enough hooks and enough chases.
That's actually what I would have rather they did, is rather than make it associated with kills, I'd have made it associated with hooks. I'd have rather seen it like 8 hooks, 9 hooks, something like that would have been better for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think a 4K. I think a 4K is better because it's more equivalent to a survivor escape for adepts.
I see. I don't. I think surviving is so much easier. I stumble out the exit door sometimes.
It is, but then I don't really know what the equivalent is to a survivor escape for the killer. Other than a
4K is not always rocket science either, Gary.
Oh yeah. But like when you're doing Adept, like it's as John was saying, like some perks. Ooh, yeah. I don't want to do.
Well,
I can't think of which ones I haven't
Predator,
adapted.
Bloodhound, or
but I haven't adapted
like...
Huntress, for example, so I'm not going to be having a ball of a time with her basic perks.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, a 6 side of me actually likes the challenge too of having to get the 2 pip with the bad perks and the killer you're not great at. Like when I recently did Wesker and Knight, and it was a challenge for me. You know, I run the same build on every killer always. But I got really good.
I sit in a privileged position of not giving a shit about achievements. So
True.
If you don't, if getting a 4K is too hard for you, don't worry about it. Just play for perks. Who cares? It's just an achievement.
Yeah, I mean, I gave up on getting all the Adept achievements because I tried for there was like a week where I was like, we'll do Adept achievement weeks. And then I think there were a couple of killers that I just couldn't double pip with. It's like I would get several 4Ks with them and not double pip because I didn't use my power enough, or somebody died on second hook, or somebody gave up, or some shit.
Your power takes your pips away. Like you can't really use your power very much. Like on any insta down killer, you can't use your power.
Right.
Yeah, and this is the trouble.
Takes away.
Yeah.
Takes away pips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just kind of got to the point where I think I got 7 or 8 of them, and then I was like, you know what, I'm good. And now most of the achievements I don't have are Adept killer achievements, but now I don't know, I might go get them. It's something to do, you know.
That would definitely give you content direction for a little while, and just grind on some Adepts. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm more likely to do it now, basically.
But outside of that, there's the wiggling changes being forced on everybody. I know, like, I like the new wiggling system with the
Me too.
like back and forth, so I'm fine with it. But I know there's a few people out there that aren't thrilled.
The only thing I'll say is that if you miss them, I wish it would stop with the sound effect.
There is a new sound effect. I haven't heard it though.
After like you miss like 2 in a row, though, it should just stop.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I don't know.
But I believe they've reworked the sound effect. I haven't heard it yet though.
Okay, yeah, because it's annoying.
But that's just a small thing. And then aside from that, quality of life changes. So you can look at the store now once you've readied up. You can spend blood points on other killers when you're playing as a different killer when you've readied up.
Oh, thank God.
You can choose challenges now when you've readied up. When you're in a lobby. Like, those are all good changes. Very happy about those. And then, yeah, Area of Crows.
Wait, the in-game challenge tracker on that note. You'll be able to see your challenges in-game.
That is an excellent UI addition.
It's so great. Yeah.
That's one of the best
A+
things they've added in a while for me.
Yeah.
Because when I had games I'm in and I'm like, what's my challenge? Because I just forget.
Same. I had a game last week where I thought I was on a different challenge than I was. So I acted like I was playing for one challenge. It was like kick generators or something, and then at the end it was like get sacrifices, and I was like, man, I went on my way to like kick like 1 million generators for no reason because I thought it was a different challenge.
I had a situation like that way back in the day. There was a tome challenge to escape and survive as a character, and I was playing with a friend, and this dude like protect the president like just carried me out the gate, and I'm like, oh, I didn't have the challenge selected. We got to do it again.
That is pretty funny.
Pretty good.
So, Area of Crows.
Ooh, I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
I played it in a limited fashion. I've only played Nurse and Knight on it, but from what I can tell, smaller. It's still got some strong tiles. It's still got some good palettes, but it feels like it will be more manageable for killer. And again, that's in like 2 hours of playing on it.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet because I didn't think the PTB was really worth downloading. But I've watched some other people playing on it, and I've looked at some videos where they've showing the entire map in its entirety. I think it looks. And from our map tier list, I was a defender of old Area of Crows. I liked Area of Crows. I'm quite happy. I think it looks quite nice. I think the size is a lot nicer. I think the more square shape is a little bit easier on the eyes. I kind of prefer it.
Yeah.
It maintains your big vote in the W column, Gary, was the style of the map, right? And it maintains that?
Yeah, it still feels like a unique map to the others.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't played on it either, but I have seen, the screenshots, and I have seen a little bit of footage, and yeah, I'm happy from what I can see. We'll see. I'll reserve judgment until it's on live servers. But yeah, I'm glad that they changed it. Because you guys know, I fucking hate that map.
You did, yeah. You wanted that in
fucking
D-tier.
hate that fucking. Well, one of the issues that I had with it was
F-bombs.
One of the issues that I had with it was that long fucking stretch of mausoleums and shit. It's so long, and they've reined that in. So and they fixed the main building.
The window door,
as well.
yeah. The window door thing's been fixed, which is nice.
Yeah. So that's all good. All good changes.
But yeah, that's
a little tap.
Yeah, that's the PTB.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's mostly good changes. Like, there's nothing really to complain about.
Well, my reaction after reading the patch notes was like, so you're not gonna do anything about eruption, seriously? But they did. Peanuts did post on the forums that they were planning on making perk changes in a separate patch in the future, which I'm like, oh, how long do we have to deal with eruption? But as long as it's because it has to be addressed in their perk changes. When they say perk changes, that's got to be #1 priority. Like, what other perks are going to be changed?
I actually don't know. Eruption's like #1 on everyone's list.
Right.
Like, I don't take eruption. I think there's a lot of killers who refuse to take it.
Yeah, I don't take it anymore.
Yeah. As soon as I realised how much it was annoying me as Survivor, I was like, I don't run this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't touched it since it became a problem.
I wonder if they've seen, like, usage drop quite a lot. I suppose it's probably matched up with how many people are... Because, like, it's in most matches, isn't it? That's the trouble. But there is, like...
I think for every one person like us that's like, I won't run Eruption because it's unfun, there's about 5 or 6 people that are like, I'm running it in every single match with every single killer.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say the usage has dropped.
Yeah,
I guess
it's probably just skyrocketed.
So what we have to do then, John, is we have to start running Eruption so we can become part of the problem so that they fix it, right?
Right, obviously.
I mean, honestly, it kind of makes sense when you feel it like that.
Yeah.
So when they see stat usage for it, which they use to make all their decisions, they're like, 95% of killers are running Eruption? Oh.
Yeah.
Time to nerf it.
I bet it's around 60%, if I was going to guess.
Hmm.
So I don't always see
60s,
it.
Yeah, 60 is a reasonable guess, I think.
But they probably see it. I bet it's like 60% of people using Eruption, and then about 40 to 50 are using Overcharge and Call of Brine with it. So they're like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
We'll see. But hopefully they can get that.
I was gonna say something. I just don't know if I even want to start this conversation. It's just like because I've heard suggestions about them doing some sort of doing some sort of system in DVD like they have in VHS where the perks are weighted and you have a certain amount of points you can spend on perks, so they'll deter people from stacking all the best stuff.
Have
together.
we discussed something similar to that in the past?
We did, yeah.
We've danced around it a little bit, but
because I'm pro that idea.
The only issue I have is that trying to assign a point value to like 150 perks is like that's a daunting task.
Right.
But once it's done, it just becomes. I think John made this point actually when we had this discussion. It just becomes a lot easier. They don't have to nerf stuff. They can just go put an extra point on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Take one off that one. Put one on that one.
That one's designed to be more powerful, so it costs more.
Yeah. So it just means you can micromanage it a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm not against it.
But does it also mean, I suppose, like, do they want people to bring 4 perks? Because in that situation, you could just bring 2 strong perks. But then again, that's not a bad thing.
That's what they do in VHS, though.
Yeah.
They make it so if you want, like, again, if there's a specific perk that I really like, it's called Vice Grip. Makes it so if you get knocked down, you have a weapon, you get to keep your weapon. Yeah. You get picked up and healed. And I think it's like 14 perk points if you play it on a non-Brett character, and I still run it on non-Brett characters because it's just that strong. I'd rather run 2 to 3 perks but be able to have that every game than, run weaker perks and have more perks.
But at the same time, do I want DVD to emulate VHS more?
It kind of feels like they already are, right? They're going
that's the problem.
Going for that balance,
It's like DVD's becoming a less good version of VHS.
Well, why don't you play VHS then, Gary?
I don't want to. I like the chaos.
Doug would like that a lot.
I would love having someone to play VHS.
He'd have to double the player base.
No, they're doing good, man. They had like 240 last night. It's Sunday. What do they got going on right now? Again, like their numbers are up. And then, do you want to? Is this our chance to transition?
Yeah, we
to
can
about
talk about VHS.
I think so.
Okay, so to the delight of Doug and to the toleration of Gary and John, we're going to talk a little bit about VHS, which
I liked VHS.
It's a very fun game.
You talk about it like it's passed on. I liked VHS. It's too bad gone too soon.
So VHS recently had we've talked about it in the podcast, they recently had a holiday event and a double XP event, which brought a lot of players in, both a lot of new players trying it out for the first time because the queues kind of stabilized and team queues were tolerable. Brought back a lot of old players to help grind the event and stuff. And overall, I think it was an overwhelming success. I mean, they saw their averages were way up. Their, the vibe of the community. I was streaming it a lot. A lot of people were really positive about it. And since the event ended, they are maintaining a higher current player base. Like the 30-day average right now is 185. Which we were seeing numbers in like the 60s and 80s at some point before the event. So they've retained some people. And again, right now there's 208 people playing, which is, for me, it's 2:00 p.m. in Pacific Standard Time. It's not bad compared to where it was a month ago. It would have been under 100 players. So they've effectively doubled their player base. What I have noticed though is that with the double XP gone, the queues have kind of gone back. It does feel like more people are trying to play teen than monster. And so we're back in a situation where queues are kind of rough if you're playing teen, especially solo teen, I think is rough because there's not a lot of people that are solo queuing.
Do you think it's a lot of 4-mans?
I think there's a lot of I think a lot of duos at least.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then
Right.
if you got two duos, slide them in. I think solo queue can. It's always going to come down to like when your player base is that small, it's hard to find places for the
where to fit
pieces
yourself,
right? Yeah.
I imagine three people probably struggle the most.
Yeah, I've noticed my queues. My queues are still tolerable, but they're not like juicy. Like I was playing it on stream because I was getting insta queues, anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes at the most, right? And then there was one day I got like an 8-minute queue, and I was like, "Wow, that's a long queue. That's crazy. I haven't seen that in weeks, right?" And now that's back to kind of being like a standard thing. Is
I still have a recording somewhere when I was like
minutes.
having to get footage where it's like a 20-minute queue.
Yeah. And so what I would say is that encouraging to see that the player base showed up when there was stuff going on, and hopefully Hellbent will look at that and say, okay, maybe we'll start doing more frequent double XP events to try and juice it a little bit. The Anomaly is going to launch at some point in I would assume the next month.
Oh yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah, we got him in the game now, so we need to get him out ASAP, and that will help stabilize queues for a while. And then so that's really it. I think it's notable that the player base is higher, it's increased, but I do think that there's still a higher density of team players than monster players.
Do you know if the Anomaly is coming with a new map?
Yeah.
Oh, they are. Have you seen it?
It's like an ice facility. It's in the game. We just didn't.
Oh, okay. It's an ice facility. It's literally the thing. That's cool.
I've seen screenshots of it. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Because I think with that killer,
it's like a cave.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
I haven't checked it out yet. We should. If you want to jump in and test it after the podcast, we can go in and just look around.
Because I would like to see if VHS added a little bit more horror. I'd be down. Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I think the game's missing a little bit.
A lot of people in the community are kind of starting to echo your sentiments on making the game more casual, and especially to get.
If they start doing
players.
that, I will jump ship. If DVD continues to go competitive and VHS goes casual, I'll be like, buy a DVD, and then Killer Clowns will come out. Because I really want to play that game.
Oh, I can't wait to play that game. Oh my god. But yeah, there's a lot of people in the community that are kind of saying like, the monster experience is just too sweaty. And people don't want to do it. It's too balanced.
Yeah, when I've played Killer in that game, it's a lot of work. It's fun. It's invigorating. Like the adrenaline goes, but after 2 or 3 matches in a row, I'm like, I'm tired. Like I can't do it.
I was leveling up Dollmaster the other day. I played him for 7 hours straight on stream, and it was oh my god, I was going up against esports teams every game too. It was just they were just cracked players, and I was like, oh my god, this is exhausting. But it was fun though. Got a lot of points. It's good content to just watch a grown man get beaten to death over and over again,
I bet you won plenty still.
I won a few.
Okay.
I won a few.
A few, he says.
Yeah, that's really it for VHS. The event was an overwhelming success. They have retained some players, but not enough to make a tangible difference on the team queues. Like they're better, but not good, I guess is the way I would put it. So
it does. Yeah, I'll say that it does excite me, the idea that the community wants it to move more casual.
Yeah,
I think that's an exciting idea.
I think
and
it's
the right
rich.
choice.
I think it's pretty rich.
Oh,
considering how much I heard from VHS in the early days from people that are just like, this is a real game.
Well,
forget DVD. This is a game that knows what balance is. Now they want it more casual.
In VHS's defense, all of those people have gone back to DVD to complain about balance again because they weren't good enough at VHS. Like they've all just gone back to DVD because they realized they couldn't win at VHS. They were like, this game's balanced, and they kept losing and then quit. That's what I think happened. They all jumped ship when they realized it was balanced.
Yeah. That's a take, Gary. That's a take I'm not touching right now. I would say that basically the community is saying that they need the monster experience to be more fun and more enjoyable, and the way you do that is by making it a more casual game, or by changing balance to be not so
less punishing when you lose.
Yeah,
it shouldn't feel like a crushing defeat.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I would say to bring DBD up again. I know we're moving on, but like, if I 0k in DBD now, it does feel kind of bad. It never used to. Maybe that's just because I've played it more and I'm more sweaty. But I don't know. There's just a certain glee in survivors when they destroy you that they didn't used to have.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just because they get used to getting crushed by eruption and face campers and stuff.
Yeah. That's what I would blame it on.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of feel the opposite, but
what in DVD you think like it's not as bad to get a 0K?
No, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's just like the amount of time that I've been playing or what, or maybe I don't know, maybe I just haven't been playing enough killer yet. But when I 0K, it doesn't feel as bad to me as it used to.
I think it depends who I'm playing. Like when I played Huntress, I was like, I don't care because I get fun moments. But if I'm playing my main like Nemesis,
it does feel bad.
I want to
play your main, yeah.
And especially because when you play your main and your MMR is higher, like with Huntress, I'm playing against lower MMR survivors. I can just tell they're not as good as when I play Pig or Nemesis. And when I lose it with those ones and I'm against sweaty survivors, it just feels kind of like you don't get to play.
Yeah, I think it feels the worst for me when I know I'm playing good and I'm still losing really hard. Like, I'm winning chases. That's it. Yeah, I'm winning chases really fast and getting people on hook and getting right back in chase. And then like I look up and it's 1 gen left and I have 3 hooks and I'm like, dude, how? I literally haven't they haven't used more than a single pallet in a chase this entire game. How? You know, and that's the meta. The meta right now, a lot of the games, like probably 60% of the games, are teams that are just like running gen perks and going gens as hard as possible, which again, that's the objective. I don't blame them for it, especially when they're going up against Eruption in 80% of games.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it just feels bad when you feel like you're playing good and you're still just getting stomped.
This is the thing. Like, I don't blame killers for bringing Eruption and being sweaty. I don't really blame survivors for being sweaty because the game just feels sweaty.
Yeah.
It's not really anyone's fault.
It's the balanced direction.
I have noticed that, you know, because a lot of people say like, oh, the MMR difference isn't that big between killers and stuff. But when I play Huntress, I get like a totally different beast in the survivor queue than I do any other killer. It's like every game is a knockdown, drag out fight. I had, to piggyback on what Doug was saying, I had a game last week where I was getting really quick downs. Like I wasn't missing many hatchets at all. Like most of the time when I was throwing a hatchet, I was hitting. And I think I got 6 hooks very quickly, like, I don't know, just a few minutes. And I looked up while I was hooking for the 6th time, and the 4th gen popped, and there was 1 left. And I was just like, I haven't made many mistakes, like, factually, objectively. I've been playing really well. And they're on the verge of winning. I think I ended up getting a 2K, but still, it was just like, damn. Like, I'm playing pretty optimally, and I'm still, like, losing.
It may also have to do with, like, time of day, and, like... Because, like, I played Pig the other day, and usually my Pig games are sweaty. But I was like... I think someone was in chat, I was like, this is going to be a rough match, because I'm playing Pig, so we'll see how we do. And I just destroyed them. I was like, the survivors are playing badly. I think it was just because it was, like, the Christmas break or whatever, like...
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird. It was nice.
I want to say something else too. This is going to be a little bit off, or whatever. We're having one of those days where we just talk about whatever, right? You know, there were a bunch of leaks months and months and months ago about how MMR works, and a lot of content creators, the big platforms, were like, "See, it's proof that MMR is not a thing." I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, we don't know what's going on with MMR behind the scenes. They could constantly be making adjustments and tinkering and resetting. So they don't talk about it. They don't tell us what they're doing.
I wouldn't be surprised they did that occasionally. There's little tweaks
now all
here
of a sudden,
and there.
Now all of a sudden, killer queues are normalized again. Like we're getting. I haven't had super long killer queues at any time of day. I mean, for a lot of times, it's 100% bonus.
I've seen killer on bonus most of the time during my stream time now, which is very strange.
I think they do adjust MMR frequently because I will say before New Year's, I was getting different games than I have been getting post New Year's. And I don't know if that's a thing with time of day, Christmas break, what have you. But it did feel to me like there was some kind of tinkering. It didn't feel like, like, oh, Tuesday was a bad sesh, Thursday was a good sesh type of thing that sometimes happens. Because I feel like my games in the new year so far have been I've had very even games for the most part.
I feel like they loosen it sometimes, and that's why queues get better, and that's why games get more... Like sometimes it'll be a hard game and sometimes it'll be really easy. Like I don't know.
I will say my solo queue games have been better as well.
Do you think maybe during higher pop times they tighten up the MMR, and then lower pop times they loosen it? Like during Christmas break when tons of people are playing.
Pop times, I think MMR works better during higher pop times because if you're a high MMR and there's a ton of people playing, it's easier to find people at your MMR to match you up with than if there's less people.
Maybe.
And that's why queue times get bad for killer if you're high MMR killer like in the middle of the night because most people aren't playing in the middle of the night.
I'm just wondering if they double down on that. Like if there's that natural effect, but then they also have something like if there's 70,000 people playing, then you know what? We'll just go ahead and tighten it even more than it naturally would be.
It could be.
They might have an algorithm that adjusts it.
Yeah, we have no.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Because I was to say, my solo queue games have been better. I feel like my teammates are better. Like you still get babies that DC as soon as they go down. They're the ones that ruin the matches. But when people stay in the matches, like I'm like, these survivors seem as good as me, or better, or sometimes a little worse. Like it's like, but they're around my region of skill.
Yeah, I don't know if these MMR data miners continually check up on it to see if it's the same as it was before when they supposedly data mined the information, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were constantly adjusting and tweaking MMR.
Yeah.
It would make sense too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MMR.
So that's us talking about
most
VHS
thrilling
and
subject
finishing
to
up with
discuss.
DVD MMR. that was
the topic everyone likes to hear about.
Oh no, Doug's frozen.
Oh, he looks grumpy.
Yeah,
there he is. There's his happy face again.
He's coming back.
Comcast. I apologize for that. We've been having
all
issues
good.
since before New Year's.
For our audio-only listeners, Doug froze briefly, but he's back now.
And back handsome, more handsome than ever.
And I'd like to take this moment to thank all of our fans in Romania who we cruelly have not acknowledged the past few seasons.
That is
true.
Criminal of us.
We're
Bye,
very
Romania.
sorry. As your #1 video game podcast in the country, we would like to say thank you for continuing to support us.
And the rest of you nations, sort it out.
Yeah. Sweden, I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Norway.
Yeah.
Linksy.
You're not off the hook either.
Linksy's getting a lot of name drops on the podcast today.
Trying to help her out a little bit.
Yeah. She needs some emotional support after finding out that was a bug on the PTB and they weren't actually buffing twins.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And they're probably going to not be able to fix it, and they're probably going to kill switch them when they go 6.5.0 live.
Oh
no. The twins kill switched.
I know, John will be the one that really suffers in that situation.
Oh.
Yeah, true.
That's going to be a sad day / month.
Or longer.
You guys remember when they
permanently kill switch?
Remember when they kill switch Nurse for like months?
Yeah, that was a good time.
That was great.
Do you remember the day they turned her back on?
Yeah.
That was miserable. I remember I think it was my second match of the day, and I got 4-man slugged. Like we just all bled out on the floor by a nurse. And it was like, oh, glad to have you back.
Players, yeah, welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back to
returning to the
so
game.
they came back to go, do you remember why you hated us so much? Let me remind you.
Did we have
Evil
any
Dead?
Evil Dead? Yeah.
Evil Dead? I mean, not a ton. I mean, I want to talk about Evil Dead because I've been playing a ton of Evil Dead this week.
Yeah, caught you playing it earlier.
Having a really good time.
Free time.
Yeah, well, I was recording, so it wasn't just free time. I have a YouTube video on the way. It's going to be a fun one.
Stop recording an Evil Dead YouTube video.
True. Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
You heard it here first on the
Can we be nosy or?
You could be a little nosy, yeah, and it might even be up before this goes live. I don't know. We'll see.
Really?
We'll see how hard I go. It's ready to go. I just need to edit it. But basically, I'm just playing David Allen as like my main. He's a support player.
Is that the guy that drops the gas on the floor?
Yeah. Yes. The blue fire
like
that reduces fear and makes it more expensive for the demon to possess. So I'm playing. I have this kind of neat off meta build that I set up for him, where he's more of because he's kind of designed optimally to be like.
He's a nail gun guy, right?
Yeah, nail guns, range character. And so the nail gun's still Pog, but I've designed him with his perks to make him have more balance bar and like be like a stun in your face kind of support. So he's like up in the front lines, like smacking people, and then still doing like his shtick with reducing fear and healing and stuff. And it's really fun.
So does that mean like every possessed like demon is just staggered the entire time?
Yeah, well, in conjunction with, I mean, he's not able to do it all on his own, but in conjunction with the meta right now and the other balance bar characters, it's like I've been getting a lot of leader ashes in my games. I've been getting a lot of Scotties in my games, and it's been pretty fun to run this build. And so I thought it'd be neat to just like show it off and do a video. Cool. Maybe people will like it. It's going to be funny. I'm more of a fun haver, you know. I don't want to get into like the whole sweaty like educational stuff. I just kind of want to play games and have fun.
I feel attacked.
You're not sweaty educational. You're like genuinely peak curiosity educational. I'm talking, I'm more, let's just say I'm a leader, not a reader, Gary. So I like to.
I know that feeling.
Anyways, I've been playing a ton of Evil Dead. One thing I will note is that you remember the last time we talked in depth about Evil Dead, the big community feel was that like Survivor was impossible as solo.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what's happened, but
yeah, because I was watching you stream the other day, and didn't you just win? Like I think I was there when you won 4 in a row.
I won 9 in a row.
I had 9
in solo, and the 10th game we lost at book. It was like really close, and then I won the next 2 after. Like, and again, this isn't like I'm a god. Like it doesn't, it's an RNG based game. It's a silly game, but I will say that solo Survivor queue times are pretty decent. I mean, and in winning feels very doable. And I'm filling roles, so I'm not just playing one character. Like I'm playing whatever they need. So the game feels. I need to play more Demon this week. I'll be back next week to talk about Demon because I did get a lot of people in my chat playing in the Evil Dead directory saying that Demon is like impossible now that they added MMR. So I want to test. I want to test that. I'd love for you to test that theory too, Gary. Play some Demon.
Yeah, I am down. I will play it this week. Okay. I haven't played it in ages. I would be quite interested to see what my MMR's like for that.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to force you. I'm going to get you in a call and we're going to play.
We can just hang out. We can both play Demon at the same time.
We'll play Demon and talk about what we're seeing and doing and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, the new chat.
I'll be playing some Ghostbusters while you guys are doing that.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Mr. Wolf. But yeah, the new update should be any day now. I'm hoping for this week, but it could be any day now. Rumored stuff. It's obviously confirmed that it's an Ash versus Evil Dead update. The rumored stuff is that they're gonna nerf the prestige challenges to be a little easier. Because right now it's really hard to grind.
Having looked through them, I was like, I don't want to do them.
Yeah, trying to you have to win 24 games with David to get one of his prestige 1 challenges. And I think there's 4 challenges per tier, and winning 24 games if you play like casually is very hard to do. I basically insta-locked David and played nonstop this week, and I finally got my 24 wins like yesterday, the day before.
And then they're going to reduce it to like 5.
They might, and that'd be good.
And that'd be a good thing.
It'd be healthy for the game. Yeah. They need to make if they're gonna give you in-game buffs for prestige, which they have in-game buffs for prestige and Evil Dead. They need to be attainable for reasonably
for casual
people
players
that play casually. Yeah, the game's gonna survive. It's not a comp game. So.
As another thing that's quite exciting for Evil Dead. I mean, we've all seen the Evil Dead trailer for the new film.
I was about to bring that up. Evil Dead Rise. It comes out in April.
Yeah.
So I would assume there's gonna be a crossover. Because it's just gonna be good for the player base. That trailer looks good. That looks like it's gonna be a good film.
I mean, it's a legitimate 5th Evil Dead film too.
Because he's is his name Bruce Campbell? That's his name, right? Yeah. He's producing it, right? I panicked. I was like, I don't want to say his name wrong, but yeah, he's producing it.
Yeah. No, that's very exciting for the game because it's brand new content that's going to have a film crossover, and that's going to be good. I would be shocked. I mean, they may not have something lined up exactly for when it comes out, but you've got to think that they would have something, in May or
I would assume they'd have it lined up. I would line it up.
I mean, I'm assuming that's the goal, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not.
If that's the case too, makes you wonder, is this next content update going to be the last update before the Evil Dead Rise update? Is that, because this could get them through this whole season pass. It can be Ash vs. Evil Dead now, then Evil Dead Rise, then maybe one more chapter after, and then wrap it up.
Yeah.
That's pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable. It kind of follows the 3-month path that DVD's on, right?
That's true.
January, then April, then July. I don't know. Evil Dead feels really good. I'm looking forward to playing more Demon this week and reporting back next week on what I find with MMR. My MMR should be very high on Demon because I did not lose very often on Demon when I was playing hard back in the play.
Is it? Do we know if it's has it kept records of previous play? Because I won quite a lot as Demon. Will I be going in fresh or 0, or will I be going in with?
I was told through completely unconfirmed sources that it does take into account.
Okay, it'll be interesting to see what my games are like then.
So, but also, who knows? Because again, MMRs in these games tend to be
kept hidden.
A little bit hush hush. So we'll see.
But see, if we saw the reality of it, it'd probably upset us all.
I can't imagine. I don't know why. I mean, they had the. I don't know. This is gonna really put me in a weird discussion area, but I played a lot of World of Warcraft back in the day. The World of Warcraft PvP, ranked PvP, and they always showed your MMR.
Yeah, I think it's healthy to show people their MMR, but the algorithm behind it is what I mean. Like that might be less popular to show.
I have to change my headset battery. This is becoming a weekly thing.
Oh, no worries. Most games do show MMR though, right? DBD's kind of a weird.
It's like showing a rank in like League of Legends or something. Like it makes sense to show where you're at. It's
it's like motivating to see it. Strange.
It is weird to hide that.
The pride of competitive ASIM shows your MMR though. Prop night. Your MMR is right there on the screen and your rank. You can see everything.
See, that's another thing that Prop Night is doing right.
Yeah.
They're honestly, Prop Night's doing pretty well. I mean, I still don't really play it regularly, but every time I check in on it, it's like, you guys are still kicking. Nice. Like,
yeah,
I'm rooting for them.
They have a healthy player base considering it's a $20 game too.
Especially considering they literally rebooted the game twice. Like, they took it offline and were like, huh?
You want to guess what they're at right now?
300.
250.
Would you double your number and then still be low?
Fuck.
636, man. 636 with a 927 24-hour peak.
Wow.
Whoa. Good job, Prop Night.
Yeah.
You know, and Prop Night's one of those. Prop Night's not on console, right?
No.
It's PC only.
Steam only, and it's a $20 game.
Yeah, that's really good. Wow.
I swear it's just
because it's more casual.
Now. It's $10 now.
It's gonna be because it's casual, right? Like it's easier.
I was gonna go the opposite direction, Gary. It's because it has a fucking rank system. People are like, I'm grinding Grandmaster.
No, I do agree with you. Like it's got like a rank system to keep people like wanting to win, but it's also got that casual feel where you don't die a little inside when you lose.
Can I say it kind of reminds me of older DBD a little bit.
Ooh. I will say there's beauty in the simplicity in Prop Night. Like each killer only has like 2 powers, and perks just got added to the game, and they don't seem super impactful. There's some beauty in this.
You could definitely argue that against the Knight, quite a complicated killer.
Yeah,
one of the least popular killers in DVD. I know it's new still, but that's the worst thing. It's new and everyone's like, meh.
True.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, cool.
Yeah, so Evil Dead, thumbs up for me. It was a lot of fun playing this week. Looking forward to talking about Demon next week. The only thing I want to say about Ghostbusters, Gary and I would like to know. John doesn't care about Ghostbusters, so this is for me and Gary. Gary and I would like to know if you're listening, and you're still listening to the episode, and
whereas if you're not listening, don't worry about this question.
Yeah, you just don't worry about it. It's not for you. Do you care about Ghostbusters at all? If so, please put something in the YouTube comments.
What a way of putting that question. Do you give a shit about that game?
No, I said, do you care about it at all? It's a very clear and direct question.
Do you even care about this game at all?
No, I didn't say it. There was no stank on it. I said, do you care? I value you. Do you care about Ghostbusters at all?
I value you.
Because we're curious.
Because you don't act like it, is what Doug's saying.
That's not.
I will say my Ghostbusters YouTube video is by far my worst performing.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. And we just want to know in the comments that if you're not on YouTube, if you're listening audio only, you can just message us on Twitter. Just somehow get word back to us that there's someone out there that cares about Ghostbusters, because we're curious.
You must.
And by the way, you can tweet at us on Twitter at SpineChillCast.
That is true.
We'd love that. We'd love to talk about that on stream.
Love that.
So. We love listener engagement.
That's right.
Especially comments.
Yeah.
Especially about Ghostbusters.
Specifically about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, leave your comments below.
Don't lie to me, though. Don't lie to me and tell me you care if you don't care. Like, that's the other thing, too. I don't want anybody out there to be, like, feeling bad for me because I care. And be like, well, I'll just say I care, too.
If you say you care, expect a quiz from Doug.
That's not true.
Who's your favorite ghost? What's your favorite ability the ghost does?
That's not true. I just want to know if anyone cares.
Yeah, I'd actually quite like to know as well.
Yeah. jokes aside, we're just curious of what people's level of interest is in the game still.
Because like I loved Ghostbusters, but if I'm being honest, I don't care anymore. They killed my love for it.
Wow, this is such a tragic section.
Says a strong
should we cheer ourselves up?
Very depressing.
How do we cheer ourselves
they
up?
Killed someone. Doug is confronting the viewers if they even care about the game.
Confronting.
I mean, this is so sad.
Well, John, shall we talk about your favourite game?
My favorite game? What's my favorite game?
Project Playtime.
Oh,
see, I thought this was a callback to last season, and you were talking about Secret Neighbor.
Oh, Secret Neighbor.
So I was
we need to play that still.
Oh no!
I don't know what it is still.
Go play it yourself, Gary.
You said you'd play it.
I'll play it if you play Project Playtime. Yeah, I know you're not really into it. It's fine. So I do want to mention just again.
Well, Project Playtime's free, isn't it? So yeah, I'll tell you what.
It is free. I want you guys to play Project Playtime with me because it's actually really fun. The updates have been good, and the player base is remaining. Like last time I checked, I'm gonna check again now, but last time I checked, it was like 3,500 people during off hours. I mean, it's just maintaining a player base. The updates have been pretty regular. Yeah, there's 7,000 people playing it right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, weekends are going to be huge for this game.
We could play it after the podcast.
I'm down.
So for our audio-only listeners just now, Gary looked like he was being tortured just now.
True.
When he said that. He
did. Facts. But no, I played it. I played like 6.5 hours on stream this week and had a fucking blast. Like it's super fun. It's still very early access, and I don't think game balance is important in this one. But it's fun. The puzzles that you do on the toy machines to like progress the game are actually like
those do look
challenging
really
fun and like trying to focus while like you'll be like working on a Simon Says, like, and then the monster's chasing somebody right next to you, and you're like, ooh, do I come off or do I stay on? Like, what do I do? And
right.
Like, I don't know. It's just, it's fun.
That kind of,
I enjoy
it. Get like you described that. It sounds like DBD when you sit on a generator. Like, do I run or do I stay cocky?
Ooh, and there was an update 2 days ago.
Pog.
Oh, and what they did, I read about this on Twitter. They made it so the host can't rage quit and close the lobby anymore. It migrates the host.
Oh, nice. That's good.
That's good.
Oh.
Yeah, that probably was super annoying, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and then they just fixed a bunch of bugs and stuff, so.
I could imagine that being horrible to deal with.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, yeah, well, we have a lot on our list to play, just like last season.
Secret Neighbor, we will play that. Well, I'll check it out.
Gary's rubbing his eyes right now.
Well, even Doug hates it. And Doug loves everything.
That's a bad sign. I know.
See, there's no one more positive about. He loves VHS.
In order to play Secret Neighbor, we will have to get some people to play with us.
There's public lobbies now. There's a matchmaker.
Yeah.
There you go, John. For the audio-only listeners, John looks like he's in a little bit of pain himself now.
No, yeah, just the idea of playing in public lobbies with what will probably end up being 11-year-olds. Doesn't sound like my favorite time, but...
Yeah, it's not as bad on Project Playtime because there's no voice chat.
Is there voice chat in Secret Neighbor?
But you're definitely beating up on somebody's kid when you're...
There's voice chat, yeah, but you don't have to play with it. That's what I'm saying.
Can you just mute it?
Yeah. You can just mute it, yeah. You don't have to play with it on.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Secret Neighbor, Project Playtime, and then y'all are going to be playing some Evil Dead Demon while I grind on Ghostbuster Ghost, and we just hang out. Yeah. That's going to be
Would you actually play Ghostbusters?
Time. No.
Oh. I was going to say, put him on the spot.
That was like a second though. You're like...
This was a really good test. This is a really good test of John, too, because like I wanted to know if you'd say yes, like, on camera, and then afterwards be like, no way. But, you know, you just 100% with conviction. No. Fuck that game.
No. I mean, I still got it installed, you know, just on the off chance.
That's more than me. I think I uninstalled it.
Not me.
Oh, my God.
I realized the other day, though, I only have like 22 hours in the game. I thought I played it a lot more.
Oh, wow.
I only got like 22 hours. That's crazy. I have like 200 hours in every other asym.
Let me see.
So
let me see how much I have. Actually, I'm curious.
Ghostbusters is like legit my lowest played asym at 22 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Let me check because Epic Games shows you how many hours you have in games. I always forget
you
about that.
you just go to your library and click on the 3 dots, and then it has your playtime.
Right. Let me see. Ghostbusters. Oh, I actually don't have it installed.
The lies come out.
So you did lie on stream. Crazy.
I guess so.
Surprising no one.
I will say though that
it doesn't tell me.
Oh, have you played it?
I have played it.
He played it with us. Didn't we play it together? Didn't we all play together at one point? Or maybe you guys all played without me, I think is what happened.
When I click on Fortnite, it says... When I click on Fortnite, it tells me how many hours I've played, but Ghostbusters
I haven't played in ages. It's been like a whole week.
Ghostbusters is right next to it, and it doesn't say anything. What? That's so weird. Maybe I have to have it installed for it to tell me.
Maybe.
Let me look on my here. I'll do some science for you. I'll look at my.
I think you do have to have it installed. Huh.
Yeah.
Let me see if it'll tell me.
I can't see the hours in the games that I haven't installed.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's a shame. Okay. Well, I don't really care about it that much. Cancel install.
And I lied as well. I do have it installed.
How many hours do you have, Gary, in Ghostbusters?
How do I check? Oh, I've opened it. Shit.
Just click on the three dots.
Just
in
play
the
it now,
library.
Gary. Stream it to the podcast.
No.
We can all watch you play Ghostbusters.
I bet the sound of it opening is in my.
Gameplay.
I bet the sound of it opening is in the recording now.
Oh, it's okay. I had like noise gates and stuff. So.
Where do I check for it? In the library.
In the library, just click on the 3 dots. This is like a troubleshooting podcast now.
I've played 30 hours, just under 30 hours.
I know what I got to do now. I got to go play 9 hours. So I
Yeah. Doug comes back for season 15. I've played 31 hours of Ghostbusters now.
Yeah. What a weekend it was, boys. No.
Speaking of, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I do genuinely enjoy the game. And the last time I played, right after they released the patch that added the prestige system, I played for a few hours and had a lot of fun with it. I just have gotten distracted by other games. The holiday event in VHS had me gripped for like 2 weeks, and now I'm kind of all in on Evil Dead for a while. So
yeah, I really like Ghostbusters. I think it's a really fun game. It's just, I don't know, it needs more.
Yeah, I think they got more coming. Hopefully,
well, they've got that new Ghost on the horizon. I don't know if it's out yet. It could be out.
Could be. Let me check their Discord.
Well, speaking of next week, do we want to kind of wrap up our discussion of this season and preview next season before we sign off, or do we have another topic before then?
I think that's it.
I think we've covered everything that we were going to talk about.
Okay.
All my notes are gone through.
As many of you may know, next season is the highly anticipated season 15 of Spine Chill.
1-5?
Yes. And we are planning on doing another tier list episode. So we're not going to reveal exactly what it is yet, but you won't be disappointed. So make sure you tune in next week for season 15 for another tier list episode. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun.
It is. I'm excited.
Good fun. Yeah.
I love making the tier list. I love like having little arguments.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are definitely like they're like our most sweaty but our least sweaty episodes because we just I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Like we argue but we don't hate each other.
Well, we get very passionate about the D tier.
Yeah.
But then we also realize how little we actually care about it, so it's more just it's really fun. It's a lot of fun.
I love how we argue and then we go, oh, fine, yeah, just put it there.
Put it in B.
We're very argumentative towards the beginning of the tier list. And then once we get towards the end, we literally will just like bend over for anything. We'll be like, oh, you want to put the thing that I want in D tier and S tier? Fine, if you insist. Go ahead.
If we can move on.
But yeah, that's next week. So
look forward to it.
Doug, did you find out what you need to from the Discord server?
Yeah, the last update was on December 18th. So
nope, no new Ghost yet.
Oh, okay.
No new Ghost.
They're still on Christmas break.
Lazy.
But yeah, so this was another great season 14. Perhaps our best yet.
Maybe.
Would you say?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
And while you're there, let us know how much you care about Ghostbusters, please.
Yeah. We only want to hear from Blu-ray carrying members of the Spine Chill community.
And if you don't give a shit about Ghostbusters, why not let us know that as well?
No, don't say anything. Just don't say anything if you don't care.
John, we're farming engagement. So tell us that you hate Ghostbusters.
No. I want crickets. I want utter silence.
The comment section, 0.
Yeah, no, this is like the first episode where there's no comments.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Not like this.
Guys, what if we made it like a Spine Chill Discord?
That'd be awesome.
Oh, we could do that.
Kind of cool.
I like that idea.
I like that.
I can't believe we hadn't thought about that. That'd be kind of a cool place to have the community gather.
Yeah, what do you think about that, everybody? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below.
I mean, I know that probably many of you are fans of us individually as streamers, so maybe in our streamer discords. But this would be more of a public thing.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
A cool place to consolidate like comments and thoughts, and we could have like we could do a lot with the Discord. I think.
Yeah, because my personal Discord isn't like focused on DBD, but it would be quite fun to have a place to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this idea.
If we do end up doing that for our audio only listeners, it's going to be really hard to link you. So make sure you're following us on Twitter at SpineChillCast. Because that'll be probably where we'll post about it if we end up doing
I can definitely put a link to the Discord in the episode descriptions too.
Oh, you can?
Perfect.
Audio, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do hyperlinks work on like Spotify and stuff? Or
I believe so.
I think they do.
I upload. If they don't, I'm just uploading them every week for no reason.
Okay, well, I was just curious. All right.
Let me see. I'm going to go to this episode.
Fun announcements.
All the hyperlinks work.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm just an old man that doesn't understand how podcast apps works. Oops.
Your words, not mine.
We can put the link in the podcast episode then when we officially launch it.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
Yeah. Watch this space.
I've never said that in my life. I'm real happy to finally get to say it.
We've gotten to say a lot of fun things on this podcast, like on location, for example. When Gary was on location.
Yeah.
For season 11, I believe.
Never forget that season. It was a huge one.
That was a big time for us. That
was a beast.
It's crazy.
Beast of a season.
I can't believe we're already up to 15 seasons next week.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is unprecedented, I would say.
Yeah.
For a DBD podcast.
I think the tier list is going to match the hype, dude. We got a good tier list in mind for you guys.
It's going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be really good. Just wait. On that note, thank you everybody for tuning in.
John, you're wearing your Discord partner shirt.
I am for our audio-only listeners. Yeah. It's backwards in the camera, but yeah, I am wearing it. You know, I did get a comment on it. I went out in public with this on, and I went to like a salad bar, and I was getting something, and the cashier was like immediately, she was just like, Discord partner, huh? And then I was like, oh, and then she was just like, so what did you do to get that, huh? And I was like, oh yeah, I found this at a thrift store. I don't know.
No way, you did that for real?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and she was just like,
funny.
oh, damn. I was about to say, who are you and why are you here?
Yeah, one time I went into Whole Foods. I was wearing my Discord partner hoodie. I went into Whole Foods. And the girl that was checking me out was like, Discord partner, are you a streamer? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what's your channel? So I told her, and I was like, what do you stream? I was like, DBD. And she was like, she played some random game. She's like, oh, I stream, I don't know, like, probably like World of Warcraft or something. She streams something random, but she still asked me for it. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I've just gotten to the habit now of being like, oh, this isn't mine.
I just love the idea of being like, oh, what do you play? I play DBD. And they go, ew. And just walk away.
Or what's that?
Never mind.
What's that? I play Call of Duty. What's DBD? Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yes, thank you everyone.
We're very happy to continue doing this, and to all of our fans in Romania, we appreciate you most of all. Please continue listening. Yeah, never forget. But on behalf of me and Gary the Hot Cross and Dog Running Man, we'd like to say farewell and see you in season 15.
Bye everyone!
Bye everyone!